Hello everyone, today I would like to introduce to you the movie Godzilla. Many years after the great battle with Moto, the Empire organization continued to research giant monsters. Inside Base 61 in Vietnam, the giant monster Moskva is rampaging. Quickly, a butterfly larva appears. This is the queen of the Moskva monsters. The researchers are astonished and also open an electric net. However, unexpectedly, two electric nets collapse. At this moment, a soldier shoots Moskva to fear, making Moskva angry and spitting out a sticky thread that sticks all the soldiers to the wall. Dr. Emma sees this and picks up a sound device that she just created and rushes into the scene. After testing the device a few times, Moskva finally becomes calm. When Emma and her daughter Edison are celebrating, there is a loud explosion and a group of hired soldiers rush in, slaughtering research staff. Their only purpose is to kidnap Emma and take the soundwave device. Sunny finds Emma's husband, Max, and tells him that there are now 17 giant monsters and the device can awaken hibernating monsters with unforeseeable consequences. As they are researching where Emma might be taken, the base is violently hit. The radar detects it is Godzilla. Everyone immediately goes into defense mode and aims their guns at Godzilla. At this time, Max realizes that Godzilla may not be here to fight and slowly walks towards Godzilla. After looking at each other, Godzilla sweeps through the base and swims away, seemingly wanting to lead humans to search for other monsters. Based on the trajectory of Godzilla's movement, they calculate that the endpoint may be the base at the South Pole where King Federer is frozen. This can explain why Godzilla knows that Federer will be alive soon and calls for humans to confront him. They immediately dispatched a naval ship to the South Pole. At this time Emma was taken by the terrorist Alan to the base at the South Pole. All the researchers inside had been killed. They were shocked to see Federer frozen. Alan drilled a hole in the ice and injected explosives to break through the ice layer. Emma activated a sonic device to awaken Federer. Outside, the Imperial organization had just landed, and the armed forces rushed in. They engaged in a gunfire with Alan's men. Max saw his wife and daughter in danger and didn't care about anyone trying to stop him. He rushed towards them and accidentally ran into one of Alan's groups. He wanted his wife and daughter to come with him, but he was surprised that not only did Emma not come, but Edison's daughter also refused to go. She picked up the detonator and activated it, causing the giant iceberg to crack, and the entire base began to collapse. Emma hesitated and went on the elevator with Alan. Everyone thought Emma was finally kidnapped, or it was a staged kidnapping. Max and his team were still running away while Emma was already on the plane. She activated the sonic device to awaken Federer, and in the horrified eyes of everyone, three heads gradually emerged. This was the king of the monster Federer. The soldiers began to fire. One of the heads brought its face closer for the soldier to shoot. It then struck the head and used a special move, immediately lifting them up, then shooting countless lightning bolts, turning the soldiers into ash. They were just released, and they were all fascinated. Suddenly, a green light appeared on the ice, and a giant figure burst through the surface. It was Godzilla. Federer stood up immediately, revealing a body of 160 meters and opening wings that spanned 400 meters, facing Godzilla. Both knew the other was not easy to mess with. Godzilla growled and bit a dragon's head, pressing it to the ground. Federer played dirty, shooting a lightning bolt that hit Godzilla. Godzilla could not stand it and swung its tail, its characteristic green light slowly brightening. Federer dodged this time, but Godzilla hit it with three of its heads. At this point, human warships carrying countless planes arrived. They fired countless bombs, hitting Federer continuously. Godzilla stood up and continued to fight. Federer saw the situation was unstable and immediately took off and retreated. At this time, a volcano in the distance was about to erupt, and the army came to evacuate everyone. But before they could all escape, the volcano erupted. From within the lava, a giant claw emerged. This was the monster that had been sleeping for many years, Gotham. On the radar, Federer was seen heading towards Gotham. The army wanted to lure the two monsters to fight each other and kill each other off. They immediately launched countless missiles to provoke their hatred and then prepared to lure Gotham out of the city. When Gotham spread its wings and flew over the city, it brought a storm of fire that swept through the streets, leaving no blade of grass alive. Countless lives were destroyed. After that, the plane broke through the cloud layer and Gotham quickly followed. 4 fighter planes immediately turned around and fired countless missiles at it. Gotham flapped its wings angrily and raised its body high, then dove down and captured 2 planes, and then chased another. Just as it was about to bite it, the pilot pulled the ejection seat just enough for Gotham to grab it. It spun around and all the remaining planes fell. Now, only this flying aircraft carrier remained. It immediately flew at high speed towards Federer. Just as Gotham was about to capture the carrier, it felt Federer's terrifying breath. The carrier made a turn and escaped from Federer's grasp. The two flying beasts were ready to fight. As a result, with just one trick, Gotham was defeated, without any resistance, and was thrown into the sea. Next, Federer also started to pursue the carrier. Seeing that they were about to die, Godzilla appeared once again to save them. It used its giant body to push Federer into the water. No matter how its head thrashed, Godzilla held onto one and bit it. Just then, the army fired a bomb, wanting to destroy both monsters at once. After the explosion, within a radius of 20 nautical miles, no living creature survived. The scanners detected that Godzilla was quickly weakening until it stopped breathing altogether. At this point, Federer only had two heads left, and it flew up from the deep sea. It landed on top of a volcano and just as quickly, the head that was bitten grew back. Federer roared, releasing a sound wave that woke up the giant monsters sleeping everywhere, and they began to destroy the city. At the moment in the tropical rainforest of Yunnan, the Moscow Queen is breaking free from behind the waterfall. Its wings slowly spread out. Shortly after, it flew above Godzilla, causing a sonic wave, as if waking Godzilla up. The humans cleaning the streets around Godzilla noticed faint signs of life. Right now, Sino brought a nuclear warhead into the underwater cave. He carefully took out the warhead and placed it on the ground, then looked at his watch. After setting up the warhead, he set the timer and suddenly heard the monsters growl. The smoke cleared, revealing a giant head. The man took off his helmet and slowly approached it, then said goodbye. The nuclear bomb immediately exploded under the seabed. At this moment, a green whirlpool emerged on the sea, and a giant figure stood up. Godzilla was hit by a nuclear bomb but not only survived, it doubled in size. It immediately released an atomic breath into the sky. At this time, it saw a nuclear submarine on the sea and raised its head to observe. Everyone was too scared to move. Then, it turned around as if calling them to follow. Inside Federer City, it was being destroyed. When it was about to electrocute a little girl, it was hit by an atomic breath. Federer fell to the ground. Finally, Godzilla arrived, followed by a squadron of fighter jets. Bombs rained down on Federer. Godzilla immediately rushed in and pushed it down. At this time, its three heads were tightly clamped on the ground. Shortly after, an atomic breath backlash Moskva flew down from the sky, releasing silk and causing the heads of Federer to stick onto the top of the building. Godzilla charged and knocked down the entire building. Moskva flew down again, but was blocked by Gotham in midair. Federer bit onto a high-voltage wire, instantly absorbing all the electricity and releasing an enormous energy. The fighter jets were shot down and Godzilla was hit by a shockwave, while Moskva was pushed against the wall by Gotham, who demanded the queen to bow down. Suddenly, a venomous jet pierced through Gotham's body. This was Moskva's weapon. Soon after, Godzilla was tightly coiled by Federer, thrown up to 10,000 meters, and dropped like a rock. The giant body rubbed against the air, then caught fire. After the strong impact, Godzilla lost its fighting strength. Moskva charged towards Federer, but was struck by lightning before getting close. Federer's attack caused Moskva's essence of life to scatter, which healed Godzilla. However, they still needed some time to merge. Federer couldn't let that happen and bit into Godzilla's body, wishing to absorb all of its energy. Emma made up for her mistake by activating the ultrasound device, driving Federer away. As it touched the ground, the steel behind it began to melt. Godzilla was now fully awake and approached step by step, and everything began to melt. Federer panicked. Godzilla exerted all its power, spreading a wide red shockwave. Federer's wings turned into just bones, and it shot a lightning bolt at Godzilla, who laughed mockingly. "Is that all you've got?" Then, Godzilla launched a second shockwave, burning both of Federer's heads. It stepped on Federer's chest, causing a nuclear explosion, and bit the last remaining head of Federer. After that, all the monsters gathered together, including Gotham standing by Godzilla's side. The creature who claimed the ultimate power was born once again. The movie ended here. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment.